Tom Jackson here. We're going to talk a little bit about contacts now that we've gotten stuff into Outlook, which is what we, is kind of what we've desired to do here, because Outlook is our hub for everything doing business. It's the uniform platform that we use as an enterprise level and our peers use on the outside. So if you're not using it, that's why we're here. That's why we're getting you up to speed to use it more. So now we've imported your contacts from various places into Outlook. I choose a business card view here, and we've just got the MG roster here, so you might see some familiar names. And what I've done here is I'm just showing you a quick generic look at how the contact should look once you've got it in there. And if you want to add any one-off contacts, you can see up in the upper left the new contact tab, and then you can just manually put those in one at a time from cards. If you use a card scan system, that'll destination them there for you too. Various different things. So you can see what I've got here. I'm going to select Tom Engel. So we would take one of those cards that you saw in that stack there, and we expand it by selecting it, double clicking it. This is what it looks like. And I prefer, if you see the top toolbar here in all of Outlook, it looks very familiar. What I've got here is I'm on the contact itself. I prefer using the general version. That's what I have highlighted up there in the top toolbar. The detailed version, that'll give you some more stuff. If you've got some deeper stuff, like you need to know somebody's secretary's name or things like that to get in faster, that was what would be on that slide. But in all of my years of using Outlook, I use that very infrequently. But you can see now below the toolbar, I've got some colored bands. Those are categories that kind of dictate in my filing mind what Tom falls into. He's a counsel realty, he's a referral source, he's in real estate, he's a realtor. Each of these specific subcategories you can find under the categories tab on the top toolbar there, which is the colored foursquare towards the right. And when you click on that, you get this view where you can see the ones that are checked for Tom already. If I wanted to add any or subtract any for Tom because maybe he sat on the board with me and he was a board member and now he's off the board, I can uncheck that. So as I'm doing a fast filter of all of my contacts, I can kind of see from a 10,000 foot view where my pools of influence are, where I've got people to reach out to, or if I've got a specific message that I want to get out to a group of people, I can quickly filter those people out. And you can see in this color categories window that you can add a new one at any time over there on the top right, and then choose colors, choose a shortcut key if you want, or anything along those lines. So going back to now, I've checked those that are pertinent to him. Another thing we like to do once we've got the contact up and you're looking through your Rolodex of your people, some people in the years back used to flip through their business card folder. This is no different. This is just what you do nowadays. You can see I need to add a picture of Tom here at some point. But on the top toolbar, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to talk to Tom about? Or as I've got this contact information and I just entered this contact into my Outlook for the first time and filled out the categories and did my homework right away so I don't have to worry about it again, what's my next step with this person? Is there a follow-up that's due? And I add that there. Or if I had a conversation with Tom and we were talking about somebody that I thought would be a good fit for the office up there in Maple Grove, and he's like, well, I'm going to be in Aruba for a while, follow up with me when you get back. I would go to this and I'd put in a specific date down there with the bell saying add a reminder. Also, I could assign a task to Tom here from inside of Outlook from the More tab, or a meeting, which you see next to it, or drop him an email. Any of these shortcuts there, but we use tasking a lot out of here because I'll be like, okay, great. I'm setting a reminder up, and I'm also going to remind Tom that when he gets back, that he's got to get a new recruit package out to that individual that I thought might be a good fit for the Maple Grove office. So I would assign a task, and just like in the Outlook #1 presentation, follow the steps to creating the task. Another view that I talked about when I talked about the views is you're seeing this in an address card view, and we talked about by categories. And the categories is a great way to look at it. You see here from the change views under the file menu, I'll just go and select by category up in the upper left. That'll give me a different view of all my contacts that I have. You can see I have 968 contacts down there in my bottom left corner, and you can see now how those pool up. You can see that out of my 968, about 10% of them are realtors. I got 96 realtor contacts. You can scroll up a little bit there, and you can see I got 212 past clients in the folder here as ways to just sort people out. Now, some of these people might be in more than one category, like you saw that for Tom, and that's the best part about it. And the more the merrier. It just helps you get your message out to the specific people and allows you to be efficient. Here is the business card view, just in contacts again, just a different view. This is just through my clients contacts portion there. What I want to do here is add groups, and by doing that you can go to the add groups button and then it'll say add members, and a lot of times I'll just prefer to go from my Outlook contacts because I've already entered them into Outlook contacts, and then just select the ones I want and they'll dump in there. Then that gives me the ability to efficiently get out to the group what I need. What are some quick tips and takeaways to remember about just your Outlook contacts on a basic level here as you're getting prepared? Use categories to be more organized and more efficient. Use the follow-up button to keep in touch with people at the right time, so you don't have to have that worry in your mind of, oh, I got to constantly remember to follow up with that person. Just put it in there and don't worry about it anymore. It'll remind you. Assign tasks directly from contacts when you're thinking of them while you're dealing with that person. Once again, it's out of your mind and it's already set in motion. And last but not least, create groups for easy communication. As you categorize these people, you can make distribution groups for quick emails and quick email responses from everybody. I'm going to turn it back to Mike here a minute. Talk a little bit about Plaxo.
Thanks, Tom. Plaxo is the tool the third-party tool that I was talking about that will help us actually dedupe and clean up our contacts. We'll use it again for deduplication. A little bit too much coffee this morning, folks. We'll use it to sync. We'll use it to create reminders for birthdays and anniversaries, and we'll use it for a catastrophic contact backup. If you have a Plaxo account, sign in here. If you don't, click the upper right-hand corner, Get Started Now. Enter in your email address. Use the email address that you use most often for work. Your full name. Our next step is going to be import our contacts that we just put into Outlook from Gmail and Hotmail and AOL out from Outlook into Plaxo. We don't care how they're organized in Outlook right now. We don't care if there's duplications. We don't care if they're incomplete. We just want to get them into a tool where we can start to clean up. Highlight Outlook, because that's what we're going to import. And you'll see it's going to ask us and allow us to run Plaxo in the background as an add-in to Outlook. We'll click Run. We'll click Run. You'll see in the lower left-hand corner we're actually importing contacts in from Outlook. Next slide shows us that we've successfully imported our Outlook contacts. Now, lower left-hand corner, you'll see there's a highlight that says, okay, I'm done importing. What's next? Well, what's next is we need to clean up our address book. In the middle of the page, you'll notice that Plaxo has told us that there's 16 possible duplicates in my address book. Plaxo can go ahead and help us keep them clean and organized. Well, that's what we're here for, so let's click Manage Duplicates. Welcome to the Contact Deduper. Just by clicking that button, Plaxo has noticed that there's 5 completely identical contacts in my address book and has removed them. The deduper is a really, really cool tool. Now that we have we've removed those 5 duplicates, you'll see on the next slide where we're merging 3 contacts in. You'll see we have some information in one contact, some information in another, a little bit more information in the other. What we want to do is we'll choose the contact that has the most information and merge the other information in. One contact might have a work phone, another might have a cell phone. One might have a birthday, the other might have the anniversary. Our job is to make sure we get as much information as we can, because the more information we have, the more powerful we are. Our next step is going to be signing up for the 30-day trial. I actually signed up for the 30-day trial, and I pay the $60 a year because I love the catastrophic backup, and the auto sync on the fly is really helpful. Once you click Download Outlook Toolbar, it'll bring you to the sync. Enter your credit card information in, and your 30-day trial will begin. In Outlook 1, we learned how to create a calendar event. This is a good opportunity to take advantage of that information. Set a calendar event 29 days down the road, and at that point you can decide whether or not you want to keep Plaxo or not. Now we're in our sync. On our add-in toolbar in Outlook 2010, click Plaxo, click Sync, and Plaxo will prompt you to map your contacts. You'll see in Outlook, I have a contacts folder, an appraisers folder, and an Outlook contacts folder. I actually just want to create exact duplicates in Plaxo. We're going to allow Plaxo to map those folders exactly. Our next screen on the right asks us if we want to start the sync. We do. You'll see what's happening on our Plaxo homepage. We have birthday notifications on the right. I took this slide before I actually did the dedupe. You'll see that Dave Coates does not have 3 birthdays. It's just 1. That'll allow, once I run that dedupe, we'll clean up all those birthdays. But the reason that I showed you this slide is one of the main things that I use Plaxo for. It's my prompt 7 days and 1 day ahead of time for anniversaries and birthdays. So I get an email every morning that tells me whose birthdays are coming up in the next 7 days, whose birthday is coming up within the next 24 hours. What that allows me to do is send out a handwritten note or a birthday card through Send Out Cards, which I think is just a really nice touch. Now if I fail to do that, at least I've got the opportunity 24 hours ahead of time to go ahead and pick up the phone and say happy birthday. Why Plaxo? The deduper feature helps you clean up your contacts. Our whole point is here to bring in all of the contacts into one spot and then clean them up. This is the easiest tool we've found to do it. We can obtain more personal info than just a business card can offer. You'll notice a lot of your friends and colleagues have Plaxo. They type in their information just like you do when you start up your account. That information goes out on the Plaxo server, and if Plaxo finds a match in your address or email book, it'll sync up that information, or at least give you the opportunity to sync up that information. Lastly, the catastrophic backup for your contacts, which is our lifeblood, is